Good evening and welcome to Off the Lip, the show about surfing and skateboarding. If you'd like to join the show tonight, give us a call at 831-479-1080. That's 831-479-1080. And now, here are your hosts for tonight's program, Neil Pearlberg and Terry Campion.
Good evening and welcome to the Off the Lip radio show, broadcasting from Santa Cruz, California. TC, my usual co-host, is sick tonight, so my replacement, Adam Replogle, who him and I have been texting all week. His daughter's sick tonight, so he can't make it. So it's just me and my guest. And I say his name wrong because it's the way I say A is like pizza. Mr. Steve Coletta is in the house. I'm very honored to have him on the show. He's back for a second visit. You can also watch on YouTube if you go to Off the Lip Radio Show hyphen Steve Coletta. You can also watch on TV or computer or iPad or iPhone, whatever the heck you got. Check it out there. Where else are we on? KSCO AM 1080, FM 104.1, or you can watch online, listen online at ksco.com. We have you covered. Right now, I want to introduce my friend and guest, Steve Coletta, who looks very healthy.
Good evening.
How are you?
Okay, Neil, how you doing?
I'm doing really good. But last time we hear you with Kalu, correct?
That's true, yes.
Will he feel bad that I feel bad they didn't invite him back?
I think he's on the road right now.
He's out. Is he on the road?
Yeah, he's one of his best friends is a school teacher, and on the winter break they've been going down to Central Baja for a little fishing and kayaking and.
Who wouldn't want to be in Central Baja right now? It's been raining for cats and dogs. This is like
that happens.
This is like my hometown of Brighton, England. This is like a normal day in Brighton right here. You would go golfing. You would go surfing. It's just the way it is.
I think weather like this was maybe kind of normal for Central Coast some years.
Yeah.
We had several years of drought.
It's back. Do we use the word drought anymore, do you think? Can we still have that in our vocabulary?
Well, yeah, I think it needs to, just we need to be intelligent enough to not forget.
It still takes short
like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Water's pretty precious.
Very precious.
And clean water's even more precious.
Exactly.
We're pretty lucky.
We're very lucky.
Indeed.
Do you mind if people call in tonight? Is that okay?
Sure.
831-479-1080 if you want to talk to one of Santa Cruz's surfing, I would say he's a legendary gentleman here. He's an icon of the surfing world, and a gentleman too.
These days, try.
That's rare. It's rare nowadays. Now I'm gonna have to ask you. You have to get right.
So yeah,
you see where I'm at. You see where I'm at in the microphone here, like right in the front. There we go. There you go.
All right. A little better. Yeah, it's okay to be kind. Kindness is a good thing.
You started surfing here in town in 1959.
Well, not necessarily here. Yeah, I think.
Was it whereabouts did you start surfing at?
Actually, I think the first place I ever surfed was this little rocky or little sand deal in between rocks in Southern California called Portuguese Bend.
Where's that?
Portuguese Bend's on the Palos Verdes Peninsula, towards between San Pedro and Palos Verdes. Kind of faces out towards Catalina Island.
San Diego?
No. It's in Los Angeles.
Okay, yeah.
Around the corner from Long Beach Harbor and Santa Cruz Harbor. I mean, not Santa Cruz Harbor, San Pedro Harbor.
You've been back?
Yeah, I lived there for about 8 years, I think, something like that. 4 years in high school with my parents, and then another 4 years going to college in downtown LA. Just kind of interesting.
Who introduced you to surfing? Who took you the first time?
I think my dad kind of in an odd way, and I was really fired up about it. And it turned out we were going body surfing. And there was a little bit of a letdown, but it was a great introduction,
Did you see people surfing at that time?
Yeah, the first surfing I saw was another part of Southern California. Was northern Los Angeles County, at a place called they call it Secos now. And it was early longboard days. It was must have been 4 or 5 years before I actually got a chance to surf, and I saw these guys it blew my mind. It was mind-boggling. What are these guys doing standing on these planks and moving along? How do they do that?
What year was that?
I think it would have probably been 55, 56, something like that.
What were they riding, do you think? What were they riding at the time?
They were probably either early original foam boards or balsa boards, just really, they probably had a little curve in them, but not much.
Right.
And big old square fins on the tail.
And you got into shaping in 1967?
Yeah.
How did your shaping career start?
Well, shucks, we were riding longboards as kids, and that's what the manufacturers, that's what the shapers, that's what boards were available, And there were a few characters out there that wanted to change surfing a little bit or change what they were riding. Amongst them was George Greeno, and I think he was up in Santa Barbara County, and he was riding a mat as well as a really short, basically short longboard that was kind of like it was an e-board basically, and. Elsewhere in the world, I think the Australians got wind of it somehow or another, and the Hawaiians as well, and which were kind of the three primary surf culture areas at the time and stuff. And so we wanted to ride smaller boards, and we just couldn't get them. So we were peeling the glass off of longboards and trying to reshape them and stuff like that.
Was that the Australians and so forth surfing shorter boards?
Australians, yeah, but I think the Australians may have been. It was really hard to put your finger on who got the ball rolling on that, but a lot of I think a lot of people would say George Greeno was one of the earliest, very short. Let's not ride longboards and trim and stuff for our surfing. Let's do something else. Let's break up the straight line and the trim.
Right.
And
you were into that. You were into that at the time too. Something you wanted to.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Why?
It was exciting. It
like,
was something different, Everybody wanted to ride the nose, and wrap their toes around the nose and get in trim, and I think another neat metaphor or analogy was, people were surfing like the way pelicans and stuff like that glide on updraft of ocean swells and stuff,
Right.
and. I keep going back to George about this, George Greeno. I think he wanted to break up that straight line thing, and even guys on longboards were breaking up that straight line. Guys were carving with longboards too. Don't get me wrong about that, but trim and nose riding seemed to be the goal of most longboarders and stuff, and whereas the goal after that, the goal of shortboarding was to have this continuous motion, and one rail to the other, turn like that. And so, and we couldn't get boards like that, so that's why a handful of us started shaping.
Who taught you how to shape?
Really, a lot of it was self-taught for a while, then I started to get a little bit of influence from some of the really good longboard shapers like Donald Takayama, and then towards the end of the longboard thing and the start of the shortboard thing, one of the most iconic shapers around was Mike Diffenderfer. And so from a distance, I followed him, and then I got even more fortunate and got to meet him, and struck up a friendship and learned a lot from him as well.
From a distance, you're talking about.
Before I met him, before I came acquainted with him and stuff, I would go, wow, check this guy's stuff. Wow, look at the lines on his boards. Wow. Diff did this funny thing. I'm sure he's not the only guy. He took a piece of paper and folded it over like that. You have a rectangular piece of paper, and you can fold it over, and it actually makes the shape of a wave somewhat. And he would look back in there, he'd get us to look in there, and he'd go, how do you make a straight planky board fit into that? So, my friend Ralph Hedrick had something funny to say recently. He said, if you didn't know Diff or Brewer back in the late '60s when surfboards were getting started, you probably weren't going to get a very good board. So that was kind of cool, I thought. So those two guys were really on it. they took what all of us wanted to do and really knew how to do it. Kind of led the way. And most of the fundamentals and principles of what those guys did still exist in every surfboard you find, from shortboards to eggs to longboards.
Do you still go back, and even today when you're shaping, do you still go back and think about Diffendorfer with those guys that back then? Does it still influence you in some way?
Well, I think it's embedded so deep that whether you're thinking about it or not, or conscious of it or not, while you're doing the work, it's kind of there. Like another neat thing Diff used to say was, there's only one way to do anything, and that's the right way.
Right.
So I don't know. I guess you could say diligence has been part of my shaping career.
Right.
I just like to spend the time and the energy and the focus to
get it right.
Get it right. But trying to avoid overshaping too. I mean, you can you gotta stop when the time's right.
So I've got before we go to commercial, we got nicknames here. I don't where they came from. Cornelius Beretta.
Cornelius Beretta.
What's that?
Well, that's kind of a combo. Two guys kind of put that together. I have a friend named Zen Del Rio. He's a school teacher and artist and shaper as well, and a surfer.
Right.
And he and I and a couple other mates were on a trip in southern Mexico. And what year was it? Must have been about 1980 or so.
Yeah.
And I've had a beard for a long time, kind of mangy beard like that. And I was taking a nap in this hotel in Petacalco, and Zen, being the artist he was, drew this sketch, and the sketch of me sleeping looked like Cornelius, from the Planet of the Apes.
Right.
What was his name? Robbie. Some actor.
I don't remember.
Anyway, so that Cornelius came from that.
Yeah.
And then there was this guy named Rick Kolonowski, who was a really pioneer surfer here from Santa Cruz, and he had this fiberglass shop in the house shop, in the back of the house shop over on Swift Street, and anyway, he took the back in windsurfing days in the 80s. He took the Cornelius and put it together with Beretta, because I think there was maybe a detective show on TV or something at the time named Beretta, and Beretta rhymes with Coletta, so Cornelius Beretta. So
and Oshbot called you the Wizard.
Wizard. I don't know about that one. That one really didn't stick too much, but it's kind of flattering.
And
Rumpel. Oh, okay. Wow, Rumpel's a great one. There's this guy named Rob Yoon, and he grew up in Sunnyvale, and went to San Francisco State, surfed Ocean Beach, Scotch Creek, and all Santa Cruz and stuff like that. And Rob ended up moving to Medford, Oregon, and became a drift boat guide and an arborist. He takes care of trees or takes people fishing. And Rob and I have been buddies for a long time. Rob's just a great guy, and we call him a surf gypsy. And he spends 9 or 10 months of the year up in Oregon working hard, and then he goes down to Central Baja where Sue is with his buddies and posts up there and surfs for 2 or 3 months at the coldest time of the year.
Perfect.
But he called me Rumpel, and that stuck too.
I got Sean here from Royal Oaks on the phone. Sean, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome.
I'm curious, are you guys going to announce the winner of the surfboard/web?
Yeah, we haven't. We're going to get to that this week. I haven't got around to it because of the holiday and stuff like that. But I'm going to get around to it this week.
All right, I want to throw another vote in for Johnny Mack.
Okay. I got his name down. Thanks. Thank you very much. This is James from Monterey. Hey, James, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
We're doing good. You have a question?
No, I was actually just calling in. You guys were throwing a pair of socks, but I do want to call back later and throw a shout out to Steve.
Well, he's right here in front of me right now. Why don't you say hi to him?
Hey, Steve, it's James Lopez. How you doing, brother?
Hey, James, what's up, guy?
Hey.
Oh, wow. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I was up your way today from Pacific Grove with the family, and just doing the surf check, checking the bars, which bars have not broken, or which have not been showing yet.
Did you guys like drive an arc up here today? Has this been like steady rain on?
Oh, we left Pacific Grove and there was nothing, and then we hit up towards Watsonville, and it started coming down. And,
Right.
It's
pouring here. Hey, James, I'm going to move along, but we're going to give away socks.
James, really good to hear from you.
Yeah, thanks, James. I appreciate it. This portion of the show is brought to you by the Britannia Arms located in the heart of Capitola. Here, I took a photo today because I was down there having lunch because Andy, who owns the place, wanted me to tell you, if I can find this photo, that tonight, at 8 o'clock, Acoustic Rock and Blues Scott Kale, it's his birthday today, too, is playing at the Britannia Arms. So get down there and have a pint of Boddington's, a shepherd's pie, listen to Scott in the rain. What else is there to do on a rainy night? Also want to thank... Yeah, eat something warm. Shepherd's pie on a night like tonight. Perfect. This portion of the show is also brought to you by Jeff Winterhalder. If you want a Ford, you need to go down to see Jeff Winterhalder, North Bay Ford. If you mention After the Radio Show to Jeff, you'll give $100 for the sale of a car or truck to the J. Moriarty Foundation. Also, Pure Power Yoga on 41st Avenue. That I went back to today. Part of my New Year's resolution is get back to yoga, lose a few lbs. God, man, it felt good to sweat there on 41st Avenue. Pure Power Yoga, I'm telling you. Chris, why are you laughing? You thinking of me sweating?
I just noticed you put a few pounds on there, Neil.
Christmas, New Year's was very, very good to me. We're going to be right back with this very short commercial. In studio tonight, Mr. Steve Coletta. Don't go away.
Good morning, Santa Cruz. Hi, it's Julie from Toyota Santa Cruz. And I understand that you guys are sick of my ad. Well, guess what? So am I. So they drugged me down here to make a new one. And I'm supposed to tell you how great our dealership is. Why? Because it is. We're selling cars like crazy. New Tacoma, the 4Runner. We have over 500 new cars in stock. What else do you want me to tell them? How cute I look right now? We are the proud sponsors of Off the Lip. We've been their sponsors since day one. We appreciate all the business from the skateboard and surf community in Santa Cruz, and I am always here for you guys. Anytime you need something, just come to the dealership. Ask for me. I'm in the fish tank on the showroom. Can't miss me. I'll make sure you get a sweet deal. My name is Julie Frigoli, General Sales Manager at Toyota Santa Cruz. Highway 1 at 41st Avenue in Capitola.
This is Indra from Surf City Sandwich. We offer the finest handcrafted sandwiches in the county. Our motto, go fresh or go home, means we take the quality of our food very seriously. Fresh local bread and produce is delivered to us each day, so you can be sure you're eating the best tasting and best for you food around. Try out our new items like the pork belly banh mi, Noni's pesto chicken, and the Southwest vegan wrap. We also have a micro tap room with 8 rotating taps featuring the top local brewers in Santa Cruz. Located at the north end of 41st Avenue in the SoCal Tower Plaza. Call us for takeout at 346-6952 and check out our website for online ordering at surfcitysandwich.com.
Hey, Dave here from Kayak Connection. Looking for a fun family activity on the water? We've got the perfect venues and equipment that's just right for kids and novices. And for the experienced paddler out there, we've got the cutting-edge gear. With both paddleboard and kayak rentals, tours, lessons, retail, in the Santa Cruz Harbor and Moss Landing's famed Elkhorn Slough, you can't go wrong with Kayak Connection. Maybe take a romantic starlight tour with us in the Elkhorn Slough and be amazed as the water beneath you glows with each paddle stroke. Or a wildlife tour in Santa Cruz where you'll see otters, seals, and maybe even a humpback whale. An experience of a lifetime, I guarantee it. Come experience for yourself, or with friends and family, the paradise of Monterey Bay's phenomenal marine life. Visit us today on Facebook or kayakconnection.com, or call us at 831-479-1121.
This is Brother Timmy
and Cleo from Cleo's Corner at Puno Hawaiian Grill.
Featuring wraps, teriyaki bowls, plate lunches, amazing and creative salads, vegetarian and gluten-free options, and over 20 different types of poke, all made to order, fast, fresh, and healthy. And what's your favorite, Cleo?
The chicken fingers.
Located at 120 Union Street in downtown Santa Cruz. Call us for takeout at 831-426-PONO, or check us out on the web at PonoHawaiianGrill.com. We put the Ono in Pono.
And we're back with the Off the Lip Radio Show tonight with my guest, Mr. Steve Coletta in the house. If you want to call in and talk to Steve, you have a Steve Coletta story. Do you have a Steve Coletta surfboard? Anything, Steve Coletta, call in 831-479-1080. I want to put a shout out to Surf City Sandwich. I had the tomato bisque there yesterday with the grilled cheese sandwich. Oh, yes. So
Nothing
good.
like warm tomato soup and a grilled cheese sandwich on a rainy day.
Right now, I'm going to give away some free coffee from People's Coffee. Call the number. I'm just going to go number one. Call number one. Gets $25 for the free coffee at People's Coffee on 17th and Bromer. They're good coffee up there. Nice. They got Curtis, who runs the place, is a good guy. The staff are great. Good food, good coffee, and it's local. Think local first. Don't go to Starbucks. Go to the street up the street there.
You been surfing much, Neil?
Have I been surfing much?
Yes.
You should answer the question. I have not. Because I have this bad elbow, but I'm going to get back into it. I had a really bad elbow from golfing. So I don't know what the heck I did with it, but it tore the muscles in it. But it's cold. This is the first year where I'm like, this is the first year where I've said to myself, you know what? It's cold.
You said that. We were talking before.
Yeah. I mean, normally I go out dawn patrol early and didn't really care if it was cold or not. Just go do it. And don't whine. Just go. But this year I'm like, I don't know what it is. It's just the first year I'm like,
yeah, I know guys that are surfing 3 times a day right now.
3 times? Yeah. Well, I'm not one of them.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
I want to talk about cancer, because you kick cancer's butt pretty well.
That's what the oncologist says.
And
he's got the science. So yeah.
Well,
and I feel healthy with regard to that. Yeah, I do.
You beat prostate cancer. You had it twice.
Yeah, prostate cancer. Yeah, it's a serious disease for sure. But
well, you make it sound like cold. It's not.
Yeah. Well. No, it's not for sure. But it's in the Western industrialized world, prostate cancer is so common that protocol for treatment for it, really sophisticated and successful stuff. There's lots of alternatives, and the screening for it, more than anything, is really pretty intense. They're saying, when if you're a male in the Western industrialized world, you turn 40, 45, start getting screened. So they tend to find that pretty early on. If they don't, then it's a serious disease. If they find it early, it's like pneumonia. Go to the hospital, get your prostate out, or get some radioactive seeds implanted or whatever, like that. And the other bout I had was with pancreatic cancer, which is another beast altogether, because it's hard to diagnose and people don't usually have any. It's not symptomatic until it's too late for most people.
Was that found when you was going through the prostate cancer?
No. So prostate cancer was 2008, and the other was 6 years later, 2014.
How did you find out you had it?
Well, actually, you know what? I had a dystectomy. I had a microdystectomy. I had injured. I had a ruptured disc in my back, so they snipped that thing, and post care for that, I had an MRI and in a series of blood tests, and having that test and stuff. Just had some scores go through the roof in a matter of 4 days or something like that, 72 hours. And so my primary care physician said, "Hey, Steve, come on in. I want to see you at 9 o'clock today." And I go, okay.
What's that for?
So anyway, so they within about two weeks they had it diagnosed, and within about 4 weeks they did a surgery called a Whipple. It's kind of invasive. 2 surgeons, about 6 hours. And so this tumor that I had was small enough, so I was a really lucky man. I fit the parameters and the protocol in modern American medicine to have surgery and then this follow-up chemotherapy stuff. So they got this tumor. It was about the size of your thumb. They got that out of there, but took a lot of other stuff out too. But fortunately, we have a lot of small intestines, and so what they take out, they generally rebuild with your small intestines.
But you beat it. So you beat it. You've had 2 types of different cancer.
Yeah.
And you beat them both.
Yeah.
Sitting here in front of me.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Jed from Watsonville. Jed, how are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys?
Good, buddy. What's up?
Hey, Jed.
I feel kind of silly, but I thought I heard you guys say something about caller winning coffee or something.
All you need to do is call back again, 479-1080, and Chris will answer the phone. You may win, you may not. I don't know. Call back, though, okay?
All right, thanks.
25 pounds of coffee?
$25 worth, not 25 pounds if you pick up.
Exactly.
Coffee.
I
give away a lot of stuff on the show. People want to advertise on the show. And
there you go.
I got these great socks to give away.
Coffee goes a long way. Coffee's good.
You drink it?
No, I don't. But I used to drink plenty of coffee. I drink some tea now.
Best book you've read lately? You mentioned one.
I read a book by Sebastian Unger this summer called Tribe.
He wrote The Perfect Storm.
Yeah, Sebastian Unger, Junger. It's a pretty short read, 150, 60 pages. And Mr. Unger calls the book a study of post-traumatic stress disorder, and which it is, in fact, but it approaches it from a pretty fresh perspective, less of a clinical Western medicine or psychology point of view, and more of a makes the point that people have been experiencing trauma as long as there have been people on the planet, basically. And different societies at different stages of social evolution have dealt with trauma amongst its members in different ways. And so it's a really great read.
What made you pick up that book?
It was given to me. My buddy Brad Smallwood, surfer from Pacific Grove that lives up in San Francisco now, surfs Ocean Beach and stuff, gave it to me, sent it to me, said, have a read. Brad's a great guy, glad he sent me that book. A shout out to him. I'll tell you what,
Who do you want to give a shout out to?
I want to give a shout out to him just at the moment. Not that big of a deal, because he's just like the rest of us, just surfs and stuff. But he got an education and went to work for the county of San Francisco Health Department as a psychologist. So he's given back. And it's nothing the matter with giving back.
No.
Particularly to people who need it, And the clients of the county of San Francisco Health Department really need that kind of stuff. So I'm giving a shout out to him for doing that.
His name again?
Brad Smallwood. Just a surf guy.
Brad, if you're listening, please call. You think Brad's listening?
Maybe. Probably not.
831-479-1080 if you're listening, Brad. Are you still surfing?
I surf as much as I can. Sometimes I'm a spectator, though.
Why? I've seen you out there.
Surf pumps too much sometimes. I just gotta kind of watch, like that. Dodge the peak of the swells occasionally.
Do you find it hard to watch? Do you like to watch?
I enjoy watching, but it's hard to watch when it's something I used to, be able to do. So I just, there's, the great thing about the Monterey Bay and all the nooks and crannies and stuff is I can still find a wave that's not too overwhelming for an old carp,
How old are you as an old carp?
69.
You're still young. You and I are not that far.
Yeah, I'm fine.
60's
good. It's a great decade.
Thank you. Terry Campy, my co-host, he always asks our, let's say, veteran guests. The ones that are on the back nine.
Yeah, right. Talking about that too. That's cool.
What's your favorite decade?
Gosh, man, I kind of like them all. Now it's really good.
Well, now you're kind of living you're living on the.
Like the in between stuff, I hardly remember. But the early surfing days were really fun, and particularly like the late '60s and the early traveling and stuff. That was just really pretty neat. Great stuff. A little bit like reading that book by Sebastian Unger, just exposing yourself to or being fortunate enough to travel and being exposed to different waves and different oceans and different water temperatures and different people, different cultures and stuff,
How do you deal with, how many people were surfing Pleasure Point when you first surfed the point?
Well, shucks, my grandpa had a cabin in Mount Herman, which is, for those of you, most of you know, it's right by between Scotts Valley and Felton. And so I surfed Pleasure Point with nobody, for sure, back in, 1960 or so, like that. My parents had dropped me off in front of what was Jack O'Neill's house now, and also they dropped me off at Cowell's and stuff like that. So there's a couple places I surfed early on. But interestingly enough, it's really saturated now. We all know that. There's just surfers everywhere. Hundreds of them. But surf used to be crowded even back in the late '60s when I started surfing Santa Cruz regularly and stuff, and then got married and started. My wife and I moved. Renee and I been living here permanently since 1971 or '2, I guess, and. Gosh, there'd be plenty of people in the water then, but interestingly enough, you'd see 20, 25 guys would be out at Sewer Peak, and there'd be nobody out at the Lane or nobody out at First Peak or the Hook or something. So all of town would kind of be wherever the surf was kind of best that day, or town would be empty and there'd be 25 guys surfing Scotch Creek or something. And so crowd's a relative thing, but it's a little bit, it's a different kind of crowd now. It's just crazy.
Can we give a shout out to your business?
If you want, yeah.
Well, if you want, because somebody wants a Coletta.
How do they do that?
How do they do that?
You can reach me. Probably the easiest way is to just go online. Google Natural Curves Surfboards, and you can send me an email through the website. That's I think I do a lot of communication, a lot of email stuff with clients and stuff. And once you make that contact and stuff, you guys, people are welcome to come to the Shaping Room in Watsonville. It's a lot of fun.
Who's your oldest client?
My oldest client.
Who have you been shaping for the longest?
Wow. Let me think about that a second.
Remember?
Wow.
His name should be like right there.
Well, some of those guys does that mean who are still getting shapes now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, God, maybe this guy's Slade Fester from Bonnie Doon. He's been getting boards since he was about 17. He's in his 50s now, and he's still a 3 sessions a day guy if he can.
Yeah.
Hard-working guy.
Somebody should buy your board. Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to listen to them. And do my best to figure out what they need and what they'd like, what makes them feel good when they're surfing. And then just strike up a good, I don't mind talking to people. I hope I'm a good communicator. Sometimes I'm not, but
good radio.
It's pretty easy to talk about boards once you get started.
If you're going to ride someone else's board, who would you ride?
I was going to ride somebody else's boards. I used to say, and I still would, there's this guy Doug Schroedel, he's a great shaper.
He was on the show not long ago.
Oh, cool, yeah. Doug and I, whenever Doug and I run into each other, I always say, Doug, geez, man, if I didn't shape myself, I'd be riding your boards for sure.
This is Neil here tonight on the Off the Lip Radio Show. TC is off sick. Adam McPlogan couldn't make it. My guest, Mr. Steve Coletta. And what are we going to talk about? Oh, I know what we got. Before we go to commercial, this portion of the show is brought to you by Santa Cruz Mountain Brewing Company. It's not a bad sponsor. The pub on the west side. Wednesday, Earth Belly Pop-Up beginning at 7 p.m. Friday, Hanlo Thai Food Pop-Up beginning at 7 p.m. They'll be starting Monday Night Movies. That's next Monday they start that. That's Santa Cruz Mountain Brewing Company. And this portion of the show is also brought to you by Lighthouse Bank. They've been serving the community of Santa Cruz since 2007. You know what? John Sisk is the president of the bank. He's good. He's a great surfer, and he's a nice guy. He took care of Rosemary. Rosemary, who does the morning show, was with Wells Fargo. We all know Wells Fargo was out trying to they were doing to their customers. So Rosemary took her stuff, all her millions, down to Lighthouse Bank. Saw John set her up, and one of the reasons that Rosemary likes Lighthouse Bank is she can take her dog in there. They welcome her dog Hula, who's here every day.
Gosh, man.
That's a reason to go.
I love dogs.
I love dogs too.
I
miss my dog.
It's not a super dog-friendly town in certain ways.
Still nice to have a dog.
Absolutely.
Neil here with Steve Coletta. We'll be right back with a very short break. Please don't go away.
Attention surfers and paddleboarders. Don't let cold water or cold air take you out of the water for 5 to 6 weeks. Protect your ear canals with custom-made earplugs. The Listening Stack in Capitola is now offering custom earplugs molded to fit your ears perfectly, comfortably protecting your ear canals from the harsh elements of the Pacific Ocean. Stop messing with the universal earplugs that don't work and try something that does. Mention Off the Lip Radio and receive an extra $20 off any custom-molded earplugs in our store. The Listening Stack is located at the corner of Capitola Avenue at 41st. Listening Stack. Protect, enhance, enjoy. 831-498-9890.
Hi, this is Steve Pereira, the beach guy at Bailey Properties in Santa Cruz. We've been selling beach homes along the coast since 1982, and we'd love to help you. Remember, nobody knows the turf near the surf better. Give us a call, and we'd be happy to show you some beach homes. 831-818-7064. Give my wife Diane a call or myself at 831-818-7064, and we'll be happy to get you started.
This is Dr. Williams and Ante. I'm Stanford trained. I'm the only child neurologist in Santa Cruz. We specialize in treating concussion, autism, ADHD, depression, anxiety. We do a great job with migraine headaches. We have the only hyperbaric oxygen chambers here in Santa Cruz available to treat many of these different issues without medication, just oxygen. And we've had great successes with our local community. Go to zinnantimd.com and write questions into our forum if you are wondering if we have something that could help you. We're located at 550 Water Street, Building I, Suite 4. We accept many insurances, and you can reach our office at 831-600-7697. I became a neurologist because I have a son with autism, and I have lived through what you might be experiencing. We're here to help.
And we're back with the Off the Lip Radio Show right here on KSCO AM 1080. You can watch it live streaming right now. Just go to Off the Lip Radio Show on YouTube. And go to Steve Coletta. I want to thank Chad, who does a great job with the live stream each week, either here or I haven't seen him in a while. He normally does it from his house, so good to see you, buddy. Coming up, shows coming up next week. This band, I can't wait to see these guys. 10-year-old, let me see, 12 years old. Easton Romero is 12. Colta Romero is 10. Manoa Newcomans is 10. They shred on skateboards, and they shred. They do a band. Their music is incredible. And they're 10 and 12. They're coming on next week. Can't wait. No. The Devil's Sliders is their name. They're coming on. That is on January 10th. January 17th. This is going to be a good show. The Basket Magazine, Chopper Magazine. Anyway, they're coming on the show. Apparently, this is a big deal. I know nothing about motorcycles, especially choppers. I know nothing about them, but this whole group of guys that are coming in here. They want to be on the Off the Lip Radio Show. It's like, all right, come on. Yeah, come on. Oh, and then we're gonna go away from surf and skate because this guy is Lawrence. And that is on January 24th. He's returning to the show, Mr. Bill Miller. Do you know Bill Miller? He is a major league umpire and crew chief for 25 years. And Bill, believe me, has got some stories about baseball that you are going to like. He'll have you rolling in the aisles. He's a character.
Is he still active?
Oh yeah, he's a crew chief. He's done. Yeah.
Talking about being a fly on the wall or whatever you call it.
He's a great guy, and to hear him on the radio, you just let him go.
Is he Santa Cruz County?
He lives in Aptos.
Is he born here and stuff?
Yeah, he lives in Aptos.
Did he go to Harbor High School or something like that?
I think he went to Harbor. I'm not sure. Remember, he told me. I forget. That's the voice of Steve Coletta, who's my guest tonight. I want to thank Steve for coming in. Call number 3 right now. No, I'm going to go call number 5. 479-1080 gets a pair of Merge 4 socks. new sock company called Merch 4. There is a collaboration between Rob Roscoff, Keith Meek, Dave Nelly Nelson, and Cindy Busenhart. I got a couple pairs of these socks, and they're incredible. Call number 5. You know what? I'll make it number 3. Why not? 831-479-1080. A pair of Merch 4 socks to the lucky winner.
Can you imagine like Bill Miller taking a foul tip?
I saw him one get one. I saw him one get one of the
on the chin.
Yeah.
On the toe.
Wow. I asked him one time. I said, Bill, it's 1:30 in the morning. You're at Yankee Stadium. You know the mosquitoes are biting the heck out of you. Right? It's a 4-4 game. You want to get the heck out of there. Right? Does the strike zone get any bigger? He goes, hell yeah, it does. Get me out of here.
Talking about intense stuff like that, somebody turned me on to a surf video, an O'Neill surf video. It's pretty cool. It was a story about Russell Burke, I think, or Berkey.
Yeah.
And it's about 15 minutes long. And that's the kid who won the Red Bull Challenge at, was it at Ars or which one of the slabs around Sydney or something like that?
Yeah.
And anyway, God, this kid charges it like nothing you've ever seen.
Right,
you know? But the risk is like, you know, I would say, I was trying to sit in there, I was going, what's heavier, Bill Miller getting a foul tip on the toe, or Russell Burke or somebody taking off on just the craziest slab you can imagine, and making it, and
I don't know. Be a baseball umpire.
That's something you guys could Google too. I think I saw it on Surfline. You know, I don't mean you know.
No. Yeah.
Anyway, Google that video if you want a couple of if you want to see some heavy surfing.
Are you using computer-aided technology?
Yeah. I've been doing that since about 2005.
Have you extended your career? Do you think in a way?
It certainly has. Yeah. It's I actually shaped a few boards with planer on Kauai a couple of years ago, and that was really fun. And for the amount of shaping I'm doing, I could certainly probably do it with a Skill 100.
Yeah.
And but on the other hand, I really enjoy the I enjoy the CAD software, the computer shaping software. It's my head wraps around it really easy, you know.
Yeah.
And
how many more years do you think you'll be working at your craft?
Well, I was laughing about that. You know, I'm collecting my Social Security, but that's you know, I can't live on that. So I won't be retiring. I'm just going to shape away. You know. I'll keep shaping until I probably you know, obviously I can't walk around a blank.
What's changing most? Is it the technology that makes it different, or what do you see? What do you see shaping in 10 years?
Wow. That's gosh, there's a lot. Pretty open-ended question, but one of the things that pops into my mind is that I think we might see less skilled shapers, like we're seeing. In a lot of industries, they're going robotic, and certainly designing from the keyboard and using a shaping machine is as robotic as it gets. You know? And you know, I mean, it's a tool, and much the same as the Skill 100 is a tool, and before that, like a draw knife or you know a block plane and a piece of sandpaper and stuff like that. So you know, the important thing about shaping, and you know, where shaping is going to be necessarily in 10 years. The important thing, I'm not sure, but the important thing about shaping is that you've got to have some kind of a connect between surfing and the geometry and the surfaces and stuff that we're trying to create, whether it be for high performance shortboarding, cruising longboarding, stand-up paddle, whatever, you know, whatever the surfer wants to do, you know. But my apprehension is that technology and robotic shaping could diminish the pool of shapers and therefore diminish the pool of creative minds and kind of slow down the evolution of design.
Do you think there's guys like I'm a handful of guys, and I go, Bob Pearson, Peter Mell, John Mell rather, Doug Howe, yourself, some of that group of your generation of shapers. Do you think is there youth now coming behind you, or is it disappearing because of robots?
Well, I think that's a great question. I'm glad you put it that way. I think there were far more of us in my generation.
Yeah.
And there's it comes to mind right now that I don't mean to leave anybody out here by any means of the younger generation stuff, but 3 guys come to mind to me, whereas you rattled off a half a dozen right there of guys from my generation and stuff like that. But I mean, you got Travis Reynolds, Bob Newey, and Steve Coletta are kind of the only really guys that really pop into my mind. And like I said, I'm sorry if I left anybody out there, but that's 3 guys 40 years later from when there was 6 to 12 guys.
Right.
So you're going to, if the surfer shapers start to disappear and shaping becomes entirely robotic and stuff, we're going to surfing will suffer for that. Whether however you want to put it, culturally for the most part.
Let's see if Myrna, are you there?
Yes.
Hi.
I was just listening to your show and I'm learning a lot.
Good. That's what it's for. We want you to learn. Yeah, we want you to learn. Do you have a question?
I don't really have a question at all. I just wanted to say you guys are doing a great job.
Why, thank you. It's very nice of you. See that?
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for calling. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. What a sweetheart.
Speaking about learning and stuff, you can't stop learning ever.
No.
That fits into that robotic kind of and/or human. Robots can't design necessarily without
human mind.
Yeah, you got to have some input.
If you were sitting in my chair, who would you want to interview, whether it be in the surfing world or not?
In Santa Cruz?
Yeah. Well, who would you? If you're a radio show host and you got a surf show, who'd be the first guy you would want? My first show, I got Bob Pearson.
Yeah. You know what comes to mind?
Who would you be the person you would want to interview?
I'd like to interview Nat Young. I'd like to,
senior or junior?
Nat Young from Santa Cruz.
Okay.
Nat Cy Young.
You'd like to interview him?
Yeah.
And you'd ask him what?
What would I ask him?
Could you ride one of my boards?
No, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I go. What would I want? What would I want to ask Nat first?
Yeah.
How did you get your act together to not only develop your surfing but develop the lifestyle that allowed you to achieve what a lot of other really talented surfers have not been able to do?
I think hard work, and I think he'd probably say hard work and good role models in his life.
Well, sure, yeah. I'd like to hear what he has to say.
Right, I know. No. I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing. I'll have to have him come back on the show.
Gosh, I saw this quote from Muhammad Ali not long ago. It's a pretty good one. I'm going to probably bungle it, because
that's okay. You can bungle
the whole thing right here in front. But there's a guy who this real quick quote of his was something like, nobody sees what really goes into this. Nobody sees the miles on the road, the hours in the gym, the diet, the whatever it is, all these things like that, but they still get to see me dance under the lights, like that. So, preparation is the deal. If you're not ready by the time the lights go on, you're never going to be ready,
I think it's like that in most sports to be good,
Absolutely. In every sport we see incredible talent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You see the kids from some neighborhood who are landlocked and stuff, but they got a basketball hoop.
Yep.
Gosh, man, they're just magicians. stations, you know. And then you got the crew that hangs out at the lane or up the coast or on the east side and stuff like that, or down south or someplace else, you know. And those guys just become magic in the water and stuff like that, you know. But you know, you got all these talented people, and then the intriguing thing about Nat is he took his talent and cultivated it in a really nice way. But there's so many more questions that'd be really fun to ask him and stuff like that.
Of course.
Are not necessarily so serious, you know.
If he comes back,
what do you enjoy? What's your favorite thing to do? You know, and you know, just find out who he is as a human being. It'd be fun to do, you know, because we know him more as
under the light. Yeah. He's a humble kid.
Yeah.
He's been on here a couple times. He's quiet. Yeah, it's a good role model. You know, we need that in this town. You need that in any town. Mr. Coletta, I want to thank you for coming on the show.
It's been a pleasure, Neil.
You're a gentleman and a scholar.
It's fun to talk sometimes, you know.
You like to talk.
Yeah, it's not bad.
You know? It's funny. People come on the show, and you don't think they're going to talk, and then all of a sudden they just floodgates fly open.
Yeah, that happens.
But what's nice about this, I think, is we're recording all the surf and skate history in Santa Cruz. And you're a big part of it.
I was listening to you say, what is this, like episode number 196?
190, yeah, something like that.
200?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a great archive.
Yeah. So back, 100 years from now, people can go back and listen to you, Doug Howe, Bob Pearson, John Mel, you know, all these, everybody, you know. So
if they want to.
If they want to.
And they can push the eject button or exit button.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Shout out to Star Benny. Gonna hit the Star Benny off to the show tonight. Actually, I'm not because they're closed early. But I'm gonna go there soon. Star Benny. Some great Italian food right down the street from KSU. I want to thank Chad. Thanks, Chad. I want to thank Chris, faithful engineer. And once again, I want to thank Mr. Steve Coletta for coming on the show. It's always a pleasure to have you here. And I have to have you come back.
My pleasure. We're glad.
You and Mark Knopfler in the house.
Oh, gosh, that'd be great, yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite musician?
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. You can check out the podcast tomorrow at offthetradio.com, or you can check it out on YouTube. All the archives there for many of the shows. Off the Radio Show. Offthetradio.com has got all the podcasts for 196 surf and skate shows. See you next week. All right. Good night, everyone.
From Capitola to Carmel, Red Hot News Talk.